Welcome to Networking Working, the podcast where real business stories meet meaningful connections. Brought to you by Business Matching UK, the UK's first business matching membership service with a business opportunity guarantee. Whether you're building something new, scaling something established, or just exploring smarter ways to move your business forward, you are in the right place.
Welcome to Networking Working, the brand new podcast from BMUK. In this very first episode, you'll hear who the show is for, why we've launched it, and what you can expect from future conversations. We'll also give you a quick overview of BMUK itself, our core mission of creating real connections, supporting genuine growth, and doing business matching the right way, and explain why this isn't just yet another group for business development. Let's get started by welcoming Paul Lawton to his very own podcast, Networking Working by BMUK. Hi, Paul.
How are you doing?
Good, thank you very much. And welcome to your own podcast. How does it feel?
I've never had one before, so I'm quite sure what to expect.
We've got some great episodes planned, but to kick things off, could you tell our listeners who this podcast is really aimed at and why you decided to create it in the first place?
The main people it's aimed at are small to medium-sized businesses. That doesn't preclude sole traders or people setting up their own business. Neither does it preclude big businesses. But I would say the majority of people are the SMEs, which form 97% of our workforce in the UK and, frankly, the backbone of the country. That's who it's for.
For anyone new to BMUK, what can they expect from this podcast? And can you give us a quick overview of what BMUK is and its core mission and what makes it different from the usual business development groups?
Well, the reason for doing the podcast is this seems to be the best medium to get information out. We're all busy. If I'm walking the dog or driving, it's ideal to listen to. For example, this week I've had 26 30-minute Zooms.
Wow.
So when I'm supposed to sit and listen to my own podcast, I don't know. I'll probably end up listening in the bath, cringing. Anyway, why have we done it? Well, really, the country's in a perfect storm. Don't want to go down the rabbit hole of negativity. People want something different. I'm talking about business membership groups with networking inside. That's what I'm talking about. They want something different that gets them the results that we feel, they feel, they won't get. So to explain, Business Matching UK is a business membership organisation. It works on Zoom for members. It works face-to-face for members, but the magic happens between the meetings. It's not all about the meetings. It's about matching people up using a methodology that we've now protected with a trademark. We've got the IP on it. It's our model. It's innovative, different and brave. Where's it come from? I'm the founder director, but I couldn't do this without Phil Pugh. We've known each other about 10 years. Between us, we hate to admit, but this is quite useful, we've got more than 50 years of networking experience. We're not going to say networking doesn't work because there's over 100 network groups in this country. If it didn't work, there wouldn't be more than 100. But if people really get in what they want. I left the army, 18 years financial services, so I did a lot of networking.
Yeah.
So I went to all the traditional groups, the nationals, the regionals and the locals. I went to breakfast, lunchtime, evening. I went to meals. I went to relaxed events. I went to the more frameworked events, let's say the ones that have got a rod of iron in them. So I've got nothing but positive things to say about networking, but I've always felt there was something missing. You could call it a magic formula. I'm not one of the world's most digital people. Phil Pugh is. That's why I'm working with him. But because he's brilliant at it. But face-to-face and people is what I enjoy. That's what I've always enjoyed.
Yeah.
2004, Facebook came out. So I set a group up called the Dual Concept to work online and offline. For various reasons, it didn't really take off. It struggled forward. I was a full-time financial advisor as well. And I saw what people were looking for. And various things happen in life. Things like COVID, distractions we've all had. Excuses aside, we got to the point, one of the biggest distractions for me was 2012, was result of divorce, etc., bankruptcy. I'm very open about that. That was a low point, but I cleared the debts. And then I talked to my dad and he said, you're still going to do that project, aren't you? You're not going to let it go. So basically, I went back to it about 9 years ago. COVID got in the way and I got my chance 2 years ago. So for the SMEs of this country, I'm lucky enough, thanks to Phil and his investment and his technology, to have a blank piece of paper in front of me last year, 2024, and I could build what I wanted.
Yeah.
So I have. And Phil's enhancing it. And the whole point of it is we feel people go into a business membership group or into a networking environment for business opportunities. That's all they go for. They're not going to get work straight away because you have to build a relationship. They might go because the boss said, to get the message out there, to see their friends, to get out the office, to hand the brochures out. They might go for all those reasons. But the main thing they want to feel is they're gaining business opportunities. And there's no real mechanism to do that. Some of the groups listening might say, well, we do that. You don't really. It's the members created themselves in the environment that you give them. Some of the groups are very good and the environments are great, but you have to make it all happen. You don't make it happen, nobody does it for you. We want to collaborate with the members, take some responsibility and provide them with a way that we can get them business opportunities in a way never seen before. I'll go more into detail on that later on. So to answer your question, the reason for podcast is it's a modern medium and I've got to get with the program, no excuses. And the second thing is that we built it for the SMEs in this country. It's some of the most trying economic conditions that we can remember. If they're going to spend money in a business membership group, they want more for what they're spending. A lot of them are worried they haven't got, but they know they need to do it to get business.
There's definitely a lot of different networking groups out there and they seem to do things differently. But what would you say is the one key thing that Business Matching UK does differently to everyone out there?
We launched in Newcastle on the 7th of May 2024. Phil was in the group. He did the breakout rooms because I couldn't. On the first ever meeting, 24 people, and we set our stall out to provide business matching opportunities for members that were recorded. It was mainly manual. Phil's now made it digitalised. The first thing that we give that others don't is we share responsibility with the members for them getting business opportunities, whether it's Zoom meetings, face-to-face meetings, or daily contact. We've got LinkedIn groups, WhatsApp groups, sector groups. There's 14 points on the engagement plan. I call it the yellow brick road. All they've got to do is follow the yellow brick road and they'll get the jewels or whatever they get. So that's the first thing that makes us different. A good friend of mine is a serial networker. I won't name him. He's been to all the networking groups in the UK. That's his job. He's on the ground and he's very well organised. He told me in June there's 130 networking groups in the UK. He's been to them all.
That's a lot.
So I've got feedback, I've got information, I've got intelligence. I class them as collaborative competition. Some of them want to work with us already. Some of them, I think, are not really happy what we're doing because we're going the extra mile for the members. To answer the question, on the 1st of June this year, we launched what we believe is the UK's first ever business opportunities guarantee. People want to know they can contact me. I'll tell them in detail. The members understand it, they know what they're getting and why. Some of them have said, that's brave, that's stupid, you don't need to go that far. And that's something we think we've gone, hopefully not a bridge too far, but we've definitely gone to an area where nobody else is competing. And I must reiterate, it's not a competition, it's a case of us ploughing our own furrow. And after 50 years of networking, Phil and I are determined, probably we're going to keep doing this till the end of the decade or longer. We've got a good 5-year plan. And this is what we're going to do. Change the culture in this country regarding business membership organisations with networking inside. I must stress it's not, repeat, not a networking group. And people go, oh, can we come to your meeting to see how it works? Frankly, you don't need to come to a meeting to see the whole thing straight away. But we understand that's what they're used to doing, to measure things. So we encourage them. So every meeting, there's guests come along for one look. The majority apply and join if there's a place. So the two differentiators are we provide opportunities that we think other groups don't as part of the package, and we guarantee it, which is a big ask. and the guarantee is only 10 weeks old. It's for a year.
This episode of Networking Working is brought to you by Business Matching UK, the UK's first business matching membership service with a business opportunity guarantee. If you're tired of turning up to networking events that lead nowhere, BMUK guarantees to offer something different. Structured, supported, and strategically driven business development, designed to connect the right people in the right way at the right time. With a blend of face-to-face and online meetings, plus 7 IP and trademark protected mechanisms, BMUK guarantees real business opportunities, and that guarantee is the cornerstone of what makes us different. Stop chasing leads and referrals. Start matching with meaningful opportunities. Register your interest today at www.business-matching.co.uk. Business Matching UK. Matching ambition with opportunity.
It's exciting times. The networking groups that I've been to, some take it a little bit further and want you to do the work for them, even though you're paying the membership cost. Most of the time it is just facilitating people meeting people, but Business Matching UK is taking it to the next level. And I think that's really admirable because your membership should bring you something substantial. And that's what you're looking to do, isn't it?
Well, the 81 members in Newcastle, each of our city groups can only have 100 in. It is the North East. It's where I'm from. I'm passionate about it and very proud of it. It covers the whole of the North East. But for people in the UK, we say it's headquartered in Newcastle, where I live. Although I'm not from Newcastle, you'll tell by the accent. The two groups we've just launched, we're keeping ownership of to make sure it's done properly before we even think about franchises, Leeds and Manchester. How scary is that? To build a group of 100 businesses in 2 cities you don't live in and you haven't got anyone on the ground, although you know a few people. Yeah. It's blossomed. We're halfway there already in 10 weeks. And just to clarify, there's 66 occupations. We've got room for idiosyncrasies, like my very good friend who's joined Leeds, who's a wine importer. He wasn't on the list when we went to Leeds to begin setting things up, but he's now on the list. So we've got 66, there's 100 places, and there's 16 where we've got room for 2. For example, 2 solicitors, big one and a small one. And it's amazing how they collaborate and work with each other. We take away the conflict. We encourage the collaboration. I was part of the biggest team in the British Army, which is the Royal Engineers. How do you clear a minefield and build a bridge on your own? You can't. You have to work as a team. So I've always been a team player and some sort of leader. I've studied all the great leaders, and now I've got my opportunity. But there are 5 or 10 minutes in the middle of every night where I wake up and think, how the heck are we going to do this? But it soon comes back down to earth. I see the reaction of the businesses in Newcastle, Leeds and Manchester. It's marvellous. I didn't realise people were so wanting of some help. There are courses you can go on. Some of our members have done talks for other members. I've listened to them. I learned from them as well. One particular lad in Middlesbrough, he's done a talk for us on networking. It's fantastic. Preparation before, what to do in the meeting, and the follow-up, which is crucial. And think, well, that's all logical, but do people do it? And do they know how to do it? And the new youngsters I see at networking, they look a bit lost because it's non-digital. It's people face-to-face. And all they want to do is connect with you on LinkedIn. So we can help people. Phil's got plans for an academy, which he'll cover separately. That's to help startups and businesses that are struggling. There's a unique strategy for charities because we allow 1 in each in every 100. So we're doing that with the Manchester one at the moment. It is exciting, but we've got to keep our eye on the prize, is to do what it says on the tin, because people will be very quick. I mean, they look at my track record. This is probably the 5th time I've tried this since 2004. People say, oh, you failed 4 times. Yeah, okay, I've got the T-shirt and I've been bankrupt, which will be covered in the book that I'm in the middle of writing now. The book opens up in the bankruptcy court, and the lady judge asked me for a copy of the book, which was going to be called The Bounce Back, from the 6th of August 2012. And I changed the title this summer, as you kindly said at the start, to Networking, Working. We don't think we're better than anybody else. We're just trying very hard to listen what the SMEs want and need, especially at this time economically. What they want is value for money and results. And that's why we've kept the pricing very sensible. I mean, one guy said to me on Monday from Leeds, He said, don't tell me the price. Don't tell me the price. I'll guess. So he guessed and he was right. But he was wrong because the price he guessed for our 6-month membership was what he thought it was a month.
Oh, wow.
That just shows we're trying to be daring, innovative, collaborative, fairly priced, give a guarantee no one else has ever dared do. Because to me, networking began at the Battle of Waterloo. People say, what do you mean? So, well, that was the year the Chamber of Commerce was formed, 210
Really?
years ago. The Chamber of Commerce has been doing networking and business membership meetings since 1815. And the good at it, because I'm still a member of the North East Chamber and proud of it, my other business has been servicing the Chamber for 9 of the last 10 years. So I've got no gripe with the Chamber. I go to the events and I enjoy them. And people say, oh, can we join Business Matching UK? Please do, because this isn't a network group. It's a different form of working.
Yeah.
Please do both. Yeah, but do we have to give referrals in BMUK and nowhere else? No, you can do what you like. As long as you don't break the law, you can engage as much as you want. But of course, if you don't engage, the guarantee is not going to stand. There are sensible quotas of activity we need. The final point, why is it only 6 months? Because 6 months means people have to engage, and it also means we have to produce and deliver. It keeps everyone on the toes. The retention rate of the Newcastle group, which is now going into its 3rd renewal, is 83%, which isn't perfect. It's not perfect. It's not for everyone. We've got one-man bands. We've got Northumbria Water, Jaguar Land Rover, and the Village Hotels just joined in Leeds. There's some big companies. WorldPay, European and British directors from WorldPay based in Manchester as a member. So very proud about all this. But the majority of members are ordinary, decent, British, SME, hard-working people. And if they bring the enthusiasm in the door, we'll give them the map for the yellow brick road, and away we go. We'll all go and see the wizard.
Back to what you said about failure. The one thing that I've learned very quickly after starting my own business is there isn't any such thing as failure. It's a lesson learned. This is where BMUK is extremely valuable because it is built on the lessons learned by yourself and by Phil. You're trying to pass on your knowledge, your experience, so that other people can build their businesses and learn from your lessons. Is that where you see this going?
Yes, because all people need to do is not be frightened, because my dad was a champion cyclist. I was a British Army marathon runner, so I'm used to winning. So it came as a bit of a shock to me. My cunning plan took 21 years, and it's only just happening now. I mean, my long-suffering wife, we've just been to Lake Garda for a week to celebrate 20 years married, and we're on the ferry going down Lake Garda. And she said, I thought you weren't doing any work. I said, I'm not. I'm just drafting my book. I've done the first 3 chapters. She said, what is it called now? I said, well, it was called The Bounce Back. I've just changed it. So I told her. She said, are you telling me for the sake of one formula, one idea, one manual formula that Phil is now wonderfully digitalizing so you can franchise? We've waited 21 years for you to think of this idea. I thought she was going to ask for a divorce on the boat. She didn't. But no, she supported me all the way through. She runs my other business for me, and I do my bit. This is my passion. I want to help people. I want to make a difference, and I'll change the culture. I know this is working when people come up to me, as they do in Newcastle, in Leeds and Manchester, and say, you know your group, it's the one where you get opportunities and there's a guarantee. How much is it? And how often are the meetings? I say they're every 3 weeks, but there's a lot goes on every day, right? So I don't need to go every week, no. And I don't need to bring referrals, no. And I don't need to go out on a night and socialise, no. And the only cost is the cost of the membership. There's no training day costs, no food costs, no car parking costs. We're very conscious people haven't got much money and they want value for money. 4 people have contacted me in August and said, we saw you launch in June and we've thought about it and we've come to join. And I've had to say to all of them politely and respectfully, I'm really sorry, but your occupational specialism in your city's gone. Well, when are you opening the next one, the next group? We're not. Why not? So there's 197 towns and cities in this country. Well, why would we have 2 groups in the same city? We're reducing conflict into our own model. Oh, so you'd rather open in Aberdeen than 2 in Leeds? I said, yes. Where all this idea and growth's come from, the 2016 book, called Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. He's from Brisbane. He lives in London. It's how to oversubscribe and have more customers than you need. So I've listened to these discs, 5 hours, 14 minutes, 49 times. See, I'm a bit anal. I count things like that. And on the 2nd of June, the day before launch Manchester, on the 3rd of June, Leeds, this year, with Phil, on the 2nd of June, I met Daniel Priestley at an event. And I told him, you said on your disc, if any of us pick up your model and use it to do good for charity or for business, I'll let you know. Well, I'm telling you now, tomorrow's a big day. Why? Because we launch in Manchester, we launch in Leeds the day after. So we launch the UK's first ever business opportunities guarantee. He said, hang on a minute. So on a Sunday, you launch a guarantee. I said, well, that's just because it was the 1st of June. On a Monday, you're unfortunate enough to meet me. And he was a lovely fella. He actually said that. He wasn't arrogant at all. He's a multi-millionaire, but he's a lovely lad. Yeah. Tuesday, we launch Manchester, and Wednesday, we launch Leeds. And at the end of the day, there were 4 significant days. And the 5th, Phil's birthday. And he's dead old. He's older than me. Not much, but he is. But he's fitter than me. But I'll let him tell you about his physical exploits because you'll ask him about them on another podcast. That's Phil's story. I'll let Phil tell it.
It's certainly exciting times, and we've got a lot to cover to explain anything and everything that could be covered by BMUK. Of course, people might have questions, so they can contact you. The details will be at the end of the podcast. But for now, until our next episode, thank you very much. In the next episode, we're going to delve a little bit deeper into what business matching actually means.
If people want to ask questions and they're not in the Northeast, Leeds or Manchester, please don't feel you can't ask them because we've opened a national register for people for interest for the future, for wherever we end up going. So please don't feel you have to be in those cities to ask questions. Thank you very much for your time.
If today's episode gave you fresh insight, a practical takeaway, or simply something to think about, hit follow, leave us a rating or review, and share the episode with someone else navigating the same landscape. Networking Working is powered by Business Matching UK, a movement changing the way businesses connect, collaborate, and grow. If you're ready to take a more strategic, supported approach to your business development, one that's built on strategy, not chance, then BMUK is what you didn't know you needed. Visit www.business-matching.co.uk to explore more and register your interest.
The information in this podcast is for general guidance and entertainment purposes only. The Networking Working podcast shares ideas and experiences to inspire and inform, and we believe they can be valuable, but they may only reflect part of your own business journey. We always recommend seeking independent advice and using your own judgment to decide what's right for your business. We encourage you to do your own research before making any decisions. The opinions in this episode are our own and those of our guests, and we do our best to ensure the content is accurate and relevant at the time of recording. If you have any questions or would like to continue the conversation, you can reach us at info@business-matching.co.uk. Thank you for listening.